Hi. So, now that you understand how to actuate your desire to grow and see your job loss as an investment, I want to let you know that I've included some resources for you to consider. There are a number of assessment tools that you can use to kind of figure out where you may want to go in your career. So Myers-Briggs has a great one, but I've decided for our course to give you access to the RISEC test, which is similar. What I like about it is very fast. You can complete it in less than 5 minutes, and it pretty much gives you a clear assessment of where your strengths may lie and what profession you may want to consider to go in. Another book that I would like to recommend is The Strengths Quest. And I like that book too because not only does it come with a book, but there's a CD in the back that you can use, and it really goes into detail about your particular strengths. And Strengths Quest are fun to do in groups as well. I've done it with a group of ladies that I was working with, and it was amazing to see all of the similarities and differences that we all had. So with that said, I want you to look at the screencast that I have created about the RISEC tool and click on the link, and as soon as you fill that out, you will immediately be shown your results, and you can use that, print it out, and use it in and put it in your file for your vision plan and where you want to go. Okay, so one of the things that I also want to challenge you to do is to now look back over your journal and look and highlight all of the emotions that were attached to your negative experiences. So if you did the assignment correctly, you have times where you felt resentful, or you felt disheartened, or you felt like you were not acknowledged. I want you to highlight all of those words and just look at them and feel the words that are attached to that, because every word you've given to your memory is there in your subconscious mind, and I want you to see that you have power over that. You can take those feelings and you can say, well, you know what, in my next position, what am I going to do differently? For example, let's say that you are someone who feels like you never were acknowledged. So you got to a place where you said, well, screw it. I wasn't acknowledged. You didn't understand what I brought to this company. So now for the next company, they're going to suffer. I'm not going to do anything to go the extra mile, because look what happened to me in my last job. I want to challenge you to take it and flip it. So you felt like, you know, levels of resentment. You was angry at the boss for maybe he or she said this particular thing to you and you didn't like it. Or maybe you did not stand up, or you did not speak when you should have. These are all important things. And you can take your experiences and you can say, you know what, I can control my perspective on how I see this particular job. And what I want you to do is, once you've looked at all those words and you've highlighted all those emotions attached to those words, I want you to begin to write a vision statement. And I can't tell you, ladies and gentlemen, exactly what your personal vision statement is, because you know what? I don't know what your skills and strengths are, but I do know one thing. There's probably more in you that you can do that you are aware of. You know, I want you to think about all the pros, okay, that you jotted down in your job. You know, I'm great at administration. I'm wonderful at organizing thoughts. I'm very good at writing content for blogs or whatever it might be. And I want you to think about that. And I want you to kind of look at the pros and the cons and make yourself a new vision statement. For example, let's say Diane always wanted to go into photography, and she even worked in a photography bureau, but she was only the assistant, never promoted to a higher position, etc. So she might write out, and place her name there, am dedicated to becoming the most formidable photographer in this part of wherever she lives. I will do the following to get to this goal. I will complete the I lost my job course. Now what? I will take this new particular training and I'm going to learn the latest trends in the 21st century about photography. And this could be said about any field. I'm in the field of communications and professional development. I don't know how anyone in that field would not have the idea or mindset that social media is the way to go in terms of understanding more about global communications and intercultural communications. So we've got to then see where we've been, look at the good and the bad, and then begin to try to make a vision statement as to where we want to see ourselves go. You know, when people suffered the Great Depression, it was difficult, but FDR had to have the mindset to say, I'm going to create the New Deal, or I'm going to create new jobs, so that the people can begin to feel like they have a future to move forward to. Of course, we can remember that he always would say, there is no fear but fear itself. So we know that when we lose a job, we might feel fearful. We might look at the bills coming in. We might start getting phone calls. But do not fear. As long as you're creating your vision statement and you are dedicated to reaching that new height in your career path, you are going to come out on the other side.